welcome back to Breaking Jaded. This is episode 5 now. We kind of skipped over 4, but that's fine. Our last 2 episodes was episode 3, part 1 and part 2, so make sure you go watch those. We had 2 amazing guests, Allison Berlanga and Keone Pena? Pena?
Mm-hmm.
Pena, that's what I thought. They both were awesome, and I can't wait to have them back on again and more guests back on again, because that was really fun. My name is Chloe, and this is my mom.
Hi, I'm Mom. I'm Kendra.
Chloe and Mom. So, to start, Mom, I miss you.
I miss you more.
I miss
Don't
you
make
most.
me cry in the whole beginning of this thing.
Okay. All right, we'll try not to do.
I've already done enough crying, but
yeah. So I moved to Tennessee a couple weeks ago, and Mom's not happy about it. I moved here with my boyfriend, kind of off a whim. Off a limb? Off a whim?
A whim. On a whim.
Yeah,
on a whim. Not off a whim.
On a whim. Okay. I love his family more than anything. They helped set us up out here with a house. And Tennessee is no place that I ever thought I'd be, never mind like even visit ever. So living here is surreal, but you know what I fucking realized? I'm one of those bitches that goes with those really sharp S's.
You are?
Like my S kind of, I can't do it now on command, but I noticed in the last few episodes and I'm like, no.
You're one of those bitches.
I'm one of those, dude. I do that. And I can't even listen to my own voice. I'm like, oh, these poor people have to listen to that. It's horrible. So I'm going to try really hard not to do that. Huh?
It's better than my laugh.
No, your laugh is not bad, Mom.
My laugh is awful.
It's just funny.
It's like a cackle.
It's... I have an ugly laugh when I'm genuinely... Like, my genuine laugh is really ugly, but I don't think yours is ugly. I just think it's funny.
Yeah.
I sent her a video. I should put it in here. I'll put it in. I sent her this video. And I'm like, it's your laugh.
It was so mean.
It was not mean.
Really
it made everyone in the restaurant laugh.
I better not fucking sound like that lady.
We'll see. I'll make a comparison.
You're gonna do a poll?
Yeah, we'll do a comparison and make a poll. That would be funny. Get some interaction going with our viewers. But anyway, yeah, so I live in Tennessee now. I'm currently in our basement/man cave. And it's surreal because I was born and raised in California. I moved to Idaho for a few years and I hated it every minute. I just wanted to be back in San Diego. I feel like when you live in San Diego, you just belong there and there's not many places in the world that will suffice after, you know what I mean? Or just hit the same. So far I will say that being in Tennessee has been fun. It's new. I love Nashville. It's clean. But to get things started on our topics today, before moving here, when I was in the transition period of quitting my job, saying goodbye to all my friends and my family, my little sister, it was hard. Like, it was really, really hard. And I was terrified.
Yeah.
And I was sad and scared, mostly sad. And what got me to just fucking do it, one, is my boyfriend. I love him to death. But from, like, the fear part of losing my life that I built there all by myself in the last 5 years. And my friends was telling myself that I'm fucking 22. Like, I will be okay. And if I hate it, I can come back.
Move. Yeah.
And I can't just stay behind because I'm comfortable here. And truthfully, everyone knows California is like beyond expensive. It's almost impossible. And I decided that I'm just going to do it scared. I'm just going to go. I don't know anyone. I'm not going to know anyone for a while. I'm going to have to find a job. It was all really overwhelming. But just the fact that I kept telling myself, it's not the end of the world. I'll figure it out. I can handle new,
Yeah.
and life begins at the end of your
Change
comfort
is
zone.
hard, but it's really good too. Anything that
It's
takes you
really
out
good.
of your comfort zone, and makes you just embrace the fear and take a risk is so good for you. I'm in
So
that
good for you.
I'm in that place right now of
Yeah. And it's scary also because there's so much unknown. Like there's a lot of gray area of I don't know what's going to happen here, and this is stressful and it's overwhelming, but it's like just do it scared. And you sent me a link recently that was, it's called Let Life Live Through You, and I really like that.
the Pak Chopra article and I love him. He's amazing. I've read a lot of his books, but this is the "Let Life Live Through You" is actually a Rumi quote that he talks about, and it's just pretty amazing. I think it's all about what I'm practicing in life, what we're both practicing in life is just letting life flow as it's supposed to, and letting go of fear and all that stuff that holds us back, anything that holds us back. We're both in this let's fucking go.
Yes.
Right.
And we're also, I mean, it shows you that like the only thing that can hold you back is yourself.
Yeah. 100%.
Like there's nothing holding you back but yourself. Life is 10% what happens to you, 90% how you react to it. So if you can just, we'll go deeper into the article, but if you can just, wait, ready? Did you hear that?
No.
That was my neck. Let's see if the mic picked that up. That was crazy. If you can start practicing trusting, whether it's God, Buddha, the universe, whatever you put your faith into, whatever you believe in, hopefully it's a power higher than yourself. If you can just learn to trust that life is self-sufficient and it can take care of itself, trust that it's going to work out the way it's supposed to, life gets a lot easier and you have a lot less obstacles. And you're able to move with compassion and positivity rather than letting life hinder you and stop yourself from moving forward because you just can't trust that it's all meant to be how it's supposed to be. Right. Everything happens for a reason. It really, truly does.
Yes.
With trusting life comes the next step, which is you stop resisting anything and everything out of fear. So you stop moving with fear. You stop stopping yourself because you're afraid.
Right.
You stop stopping yourself from feeling because you're afraid, or anything that's ever happened to you, like you were betrayed or you were hurt, you went through some sort of negative experience and you allowed it to make you jaded or just fearful of ever feeling that again. So you put these walls up. It's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to keep moving with, like, still be vulnerable, keep moving with compassion and being open. And it's the way that you view what has happened to you. Like I said, it's 10% what's happened to you. It's 90% how you react to it.
Yeah, you stop closing doors on yourself, right?
Right, closing doors on yourself.
Yeah. Because you put yourself in a prison of your own making, right? From all different things, whether it's fear of something happening to you again that's happened before, right? So you don't allow yourself to embrace life and live life because this could happen or this could happen, or fear of losing someone you love, and you don't experience love because you're so scared of losing love. You don't allow yourself 100% to be authentic and vulnerable with that person you love because you're constantly like, oh, if I do this, he'll leave me or she'll leave me, or whatever it is, or
that's just moving with fear.
Accepting the things that have already happened to you were for a reason, right? And for your highest good. And when you can accept that, no matter how bad it was, when you can accept that those things made you who you are and step into who you're supposed to be because of those things, life just gets so much better and everything shifts, right? You just embrace it like this is who I'm supposed to be. And it's not
embracing
like,
it.
Oh, poor me, I was molested as a child, which, I mean, You have no part in that as a child. You have no part in that, right? That was something that was really hard for me to come to grips with because, as you know, I was molested by my teacher. And it was very difficult for me to, you know, understand. And, you know, he did all this mind fuck shit with, you know, and so I didn't report it for a long, long time because I didn't know, you know, I didn't understand. There's guilt and shame around that too. But
Totally.
when you can accept, which I do now, that because of that, one, I can relate to so many people, that I can have compassion for so many people. When I was in prison, it happened to most people in there have been, if not molested as a child, raped as a teenager, right? And so they have so many issues. And because I was able to heal from what happened to me and walk through it, then I can help someone else. And so now I'm grateful for it. It's weird to say, right? But everything
right.
that's happened in my life, I now know was part of my purpose.
Yeah.
Right? And without
You're not grateful that you got sexually assaulted. You're grateful for what it taught you.
For what the lessons that it taught me. Yeah. And so, and I also believe that I wouldn't be who I am if I hadn't gone through that. So,
yeah,
you know, did it trigger a lot of my addiction? Probably. You know, a lot of the trauma I experienced in my life triggered my addiction because I was running from things, but it also, even that allowed me to experience things I wouldn't have experienced. And so I have turned all of that around into being a place where I feel you're born with a purpose. And in order to fulfill that purpose, you have to have really hard challenges, right? Those challenges are what creates you. And it's when you turn them around.
You can't avoid hardships and challenges, and you can't.
No.
You have to accept them and trust that it all happens for a reason.
I want to change that a little bit for my thinking. You can avoid, right? Because we do have the power of choice now. So I can't go back and change the choices I made that created those situations and those hard times. But what I can do right now is choose who I am, how I believe in myself.
Choose to make you a better person.
And become.
Allow it to make you a better person.
I don't even want to say a better person. I don't even want to say that I was ever a bad person. I want to say that choose to use everything to step into what I'm supposed to be now, who I'm supposed to be now. And I believe I have done that. Now I just can expand upon that.
Yeah, 100%. Right? Yeah. Yep. Thanks for sharing, Mom. All right. So do you want to go ahead and read that I honor my journey as I step into my purpose?
Yeah. Okay. So along those same lines. So my affirmation, I write one every morning now. So this is mine today, and it's right along the lines. It's so weird how, you know, alignment works, synchronicity works, I guess, because I wrote this, and then all of a sudden this Deepak Chopra email came through with this article, and it was so fitting. I'm like, okay, this is our topic for today, right? So I honor my journey as I step into my purpose, trusting that I will know when to act and when to surrender. I embrace my strength and courage, believing in my ability to navigate challenges. Each day I grow more aligned with my true self, ready to embrace the opportunities that come my way.
So it's so important to just be open.
Yeah.
Just trusting that knowing that everything's going to happen for a reason. Mm-hmm. Trusting that you're going to be okay as long as you are confident in yourself and standing on your own 2 feet, that no matter what happens to you, you're going to be okay. That way, anything that does happen, it's just a speed bump.
Right.
And you're able to go over the speed bump and keep going. Mm-hmm. You learn from it, you go over it. Instead of hitting the speed bump and drilling yourself into the ground right there, then you'll never move forward, compared to looking at little slips and dips as just slips and dips in the road. Like, you're still going. Right. You're going to have to take a left turn. You're going to have to reverse a little bit. but that's just how life is, and just being confident in yourself and being courageous,
right,
and being open to anything and everything, and just continuing to be vulnerable. It's so important.
Yeah. So there's a concept that I've read about a lot that says how the way our brains experience things, right? How we come to an understanding of like even what language means, what a word means. If you don't know what hot is, right, you can't understand what cold is, right? Mm-hmm. So our brain works in duality or opposites, right? So there's no concept of cold unless you know hot, right? So if you don't know what down is, then you're always up, right? Or vice versa. So it's interesting though, because like you say, you can't experience like the joys in life when you go through those speed bumps, right? Those ups and downs of life. You can't ever experience the true joy if you don't understand that up of not knowing that down, right? So that's the way I like to think about my challenges, is they allowed me now I can be way up here with joy because I understand way down here of trauma, right?
Exactly. And life is like sound waves. It just goes like this. You have to hit, when people say you hit rock bottom, you can only go up from there. It's true, because you do this. Like life is life. It hits you. It comes randomly. You go like this. And as long as you don't stay there, you can and will go back up. It's inevitable. That's how life works.
Right.
And when you are up here, you know that, okay, I need to live in this moment. I need to be grateful for this moment, because life will eventually probably go downhill again. But that's okay, because I know I'll hit this moment again. I'll be here again. And you just constantly think about it as like, I'm going to try to recreate a graph on the screen as I do this. So you're here, life goes like this. And you're just used to just keep fucking going. Like no matter what, how low, like a death in the family, let it take its course, feel as much as you can, but don't let it destroy your life. Don't let it consume you. Don't let it drown you.
Right.
I know with depression, I have chronic depression. I also have PTSD. Yes. And it is very easy for me to spiral, and my spirals are really bad. But I'm practicing, because again, disclaimer, we are not therapists. We're not, I mean, she has some certifications. I have certifications in a hell of a lot of experience as a 22-year-old. So like we're credible,
right?
But don't believe us like we're telling you what to do. We're just humans trying to share our experience in hopes that we can help give a different perspective for anyone who needs it, right? So for me, when I spiral, it's really bad. But then when I'm laughing my ass off with my friends, I'm so euphoric and so high off of dopamine, and I just feel so strongly that direction because I have felt so strongly that direction.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful both ways, because I said this in a few episodes ago. It is better to feel anything than to not. Than to just be dead.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people say, no, fuck that. I just want to, and I've been there too. I've been really like nihilistic, and that you outed me in the last episode, but I've been suicidal before. And a lot of us have. You just hit that rock bottom and you don't see a way up.
Many people there.
There are so many people there right now, and that will be there or have been there. And you hit that rock bottom and you're not able to see up, or at least be open to the fact that it could go up from there.
Right.
And when I was there, it was really dark, very dark place. And now that I am out of that and I'm on such a good path and I'm positive, I realize that it all comes from me and how I react to things. Like I said, 10% what happens to you, 90% how you react to it. It's true. When a death in the family happens, you go through the emotions. If a friend betrays you, you go through the emotions. You think logically, but you also listen to your heart, because you will never be separated from your heart until you die. You might as well listen to it a little bit, but you also have to move with strong thinking and common sense and using your experience as proof that you will get through this no matter what it is. Let it hurt you. Let it affect you. Learn from it. Don't let it consume you, and move on. Because something worse will probably happen to you. Something great will probably happen to you. Be open to no matter what. Stand on your own 2 feet. Be strong enough to know that you're going to make it out no matter what.
Right.
Mic drop. Fuck.
Yes.
Yes. So I'm practicing that, because I'm not a professional in it at all. I'm just coming to terms with the fact that I trust everything and anything that happens is happening for a reason, and I'm just letting off the gas a little bit. I'm just kind of taking a step back and just knowing that I'm going to be okay no matter what, and not letting the fear drive me, because I did for so long.
Right.
Especially experiencing as much loss as I have. Like I always, like in my current relationship, for example, you brought this up, but we got to bring it up again. I've never experienced jealousy until this current relationship that I'm in, and I fucking hate it. It sucks. It's a really shitty thing to feel.
It is. It's awful.
It's awful. And you're teaching me, and I'm practicing as we speak, to be confident in myself and who I am as a person, and know that there's nothing I learned young. There's nothing you can ever do to fix anyone, control anyone. So that still stands. Right. If someone wants to go off and betray you or turn on you or go pick someone else, fucking let them. Bye. Like, I know I'm going to be okay. Yeah. And like you said, when you're sitting in this negative mindset of you're not confident in yourself, you're feeling insecure, you're feeling like that you're thinking about all the ways that they could be deceiving you right now, you are manifesting that into reality.
And you are creating your own
reality.
You're pushing them away.
And you're pushing really your partner away. If it's with a relationship, you push your partner away by assuming and accusing and all this stuff, and you drive it into your head, and that's reality for you. Even if it's not, you look around and your partner's right next to you, but you're doing all this, you know, like it's all in your fucking head. It really is. Life is in your head.
I remember when I was in a relationship with your dad, right? And your dad was super controlling, super jealous.
Yeah.
Right. But what it did for me is anytime someone questions you, right, what that tells me is that you don't believe in what we have. So here I'm coming from a place of thinking that what we have is fucking amazing, and I would never consider anything else but this, right? Because I'm about one of the most loyal people there is. When I love deeply, and I love wholly, and I don't share that love. I've never, even on drugs, never cheated on anyone. It was never a consideration for me. But so it was so hurtful, right? It was so hurtful for someone to come at me, someone I loved, who I thought believed in us just as much, to even think that's a possibility. And we don't think of it in those terms, right? We don't realize,
but that's a good point.
Saying this, by accusing you of this, or even not trusting you, that's saying, I don't believe in what we have. I don't believe that we are one, that we are a team, that we are,
that's why people say you need trust if you're going to be in a relationship. Yep. Makes sense.
Yeah, because it's hurtful. It's really hurtful, and it's unattractive, because it also tells them that you don't believe in yourself, right? That you don't think you're good enough for me. And that sucks, because when I do, right, you need to too. And it's, and it creates this like neediness. I always say that I think it's an absolutely beautiful thing to be loved. It is an awful thing to be needed, because when someone needs you, it means they're not okay without you. And they're not okay. Like you said, they're not standing on their own 2 feet and grounded and centered in who they are.
And that puts so much pressure on you.
Yeah. Because
rather than just wanting to be with them, because
you can never make someone whole.
Right.
Right. And so, yes, you're a unit, but you're both two beings that have to be whole separately. And then you can come together, and be that team. But when you're needing someone, right, and you're needy and you're so scared of losing them and all that, all those things say that you are not centered in your own being. And that it creates all this toxicity, right?
Totally. Yeah, so it's really just about being confident that the universe has got your back. Yeah. And that you have got your back. Yeah. So I don't ever on this podcast want to go into politics or religion too much. To each their own, like I'm not going to push anything on anyone. Right. Everyone heals in their own ways. A lot of people think differently, and that's okay. And that's how it should be,
Yes.
And
100%,
so I don't want to
yes.
go too deep into it. I will say myself, I am agnostic, and I like to stay there because I'm open to anything and everything, and nothing has been proven to me. So I know that there is a power higher than myself. I don't know what it is. I might not ever know what it is, even after I die. And I'm okay with that. All I can do is trust myself and my decision making and practice self-respect, self-love, and trusting that I'm going to be okay no matter what. And that everyone else's decisions, it's not personal towards me. Everyone's got their own shit. I'm doing it again. I'm doing this. I don't even know how I do that. I do the S thing where I'm like, I hate that shit.
Hear it.
Sorry if I do that and I piss people off. Just know that it pisses me off too, okay?
I don't hear it.
I hear myself doing it and I'm
really?
like, oh, fuck. It's like, I can't stand when people chew out loud or chew gum loudly.
Oh, God. That's like my worst pet peeve ever.
And if I hear myself chewing, I cringe myself out. Same with the S's. Same with my voice. Like, anyway, so I'm sorry if I do that. But yeah, it's all about just standing on your own 2 feet and trusting that life is self-sufficient and it's going to take its own course and it's going to be okay. Everything happens for a reason. People, if they leave you, okay, that was meant to happen. If they stay, that's meant to happen. Just move with compassion and not with fear. And jealousy is moving with fear. And so that's what I'm practicing not doing. Right. And it's just that just comes from trust.
The other side of that is like, so for me, what was such a painful lesson, probably my hardest lesson ever, is that you can't ever make someone love you the way you want them to, right? And that can be in a relationship, but it also can be with family, right? Yep. And I mean, my mom, I always wanted, and desired the ideal of what a mother is supposed to be for you, right? And I never really got that. I mean, maybe when I was really little, I don't, but
too young to remember. Yeah.
Too young to remember. And so I was always never okay because I wasn't okay. She wasn't okay with me, or it didn't matter if it was my weight, or if it was my school, or if it was my boyfriend, or whatever it was, I was never good enough, right? It was never going to be good enough. And so that is really difficult, but I finally came to a place where I understood, you know what? I am good enough, and it has nothing to do with me. It's fully 100% a reflection of her, because it's the image of what she wants me to be that I'm not fulfilling, right? Instead of having, like I do with you, and we are supposed to with our children, this unconditional love of understanding no matter what choices they're making, no matter what, things they're doing in their life, we love them wholly.
Yes.
And we lift them up wholly, 100%. Yes. And especially when they're going through hard times, because that's when they need you the most to guide them, right?
Yep.
And so I learned that there's nothing I can do to change that. And that's a hard lesson for people to do. Sometimes people get stuck in a marriage where they can't let go because they think it's something they're doing wrong, right? Or there's something, I must be fucking this up somehow, or I must be doing something wrong because this person is supposed to love me. It's my wife or my husband that's supposed to love me. And I thought they did, right? And they said they did, and we took vows and all that. But you can't do anything to make someone love you. What you can do 100% is be authentic, right? With them, be you. The other thing is let them be them, like let them be whoever they are supposed to be, because a lot of times we have this ideal of what someone is supposed to be, and it may not be right. It may not be accurate. And then knowing when to let go, knowing when it's not right for you, or you can't make someone change, and so you just need to let go and move on.
So letting go comes hand in hand with trusting the universe, just trusting life, and letting life flow through you. Family, if we're talking about family, that's a hard one. That's usually the hardest one to, when it comes to forgiveness and trust and moving with compassion. That one's the hardest because they're blood.
Yeah.
And you want them to be that ideal mother figure or that ideal brother or father or grandma figure.
Or sister.
But we're all human. Blood doesn't really mean jack, you know? Like, yes, it does mean that you're related. It means that you've known each other probably the longest, but not always, you know? And so when it comes to a family member hurting you or betraying you, it usually tends to hurt a lot harder, a lot worse.
Yeah.
It hits you a lot deeper and a lot harder.
Yeah.
And it's a deeper betrayal because you're related, right? So when there's these people that have hurt you, betrayed you, lost your trust, and you want so badly to, you either go two places usually, is you forgive them and you just say, oh, it's family, I just got to put up with them. A lot of people do that. Like, I've been hurt by a family member that said something extremely hurtful and insensitive to me recently. And I just detached from her completely. I separated myself. I put a huge boundary between us where I don't respond very often. And I never really talked to her about it. Like, I bet she doesn't even know what she said to me and why I have distanced, which is on me. I should have said something. I probably will someday.
Yeah.
But I'm just not there yet. And that's me setting boundaries out of respect for myself and protecting myself. And I'll do it when I'm ready. But I know that I love her and I know that she loves me. And then what she said was coming from a place of insecurity and projecting. And it wasn't personal. And I wish I could say it, but then I can't. This is me practicing moving with compassion. I still respond sometimes and tell her happy birthday and I love you and I miss you. But that's me setting a boundary because I don't trust that she isn't going to hurt me like that again, whether it was on purpose or not. And I forgive her, like I said, because I know it wasn't with malicious intent. And there was a motivational, super smart podcast guy. I'll try to find him. He said, forgiveness is important and is deserved with anyone over anything until it becomes malicious intent. And if someone has malicious intent towards you or has proved that they have malicious intent, forgiveness is actually completely... Why do I get so tight when I talk? I'm like all in my throat. I noticed that whenever I was in therapy, I speak like when I get talking about real traumatic stuff, I go straight to my throat and I speak from my throat instead of my chest and I stop breathing.
That's not good.
This is why I need a somatic therapist on here.
Yes.
Because I put all my trauma into my, like, this area right here.
Do you know how to
and so when I talk, I get like
belly breathing?
Not belly breathing. I get like, I don't breathe and I just talk from my throat because it's whatever. But anyway.
Fill your stomach up with air. Fill your belly. Fill your stomach up with air. Fill your tummy. Make sure it goes out. Hold it for 4 seconds.
Yeah, that helps.
Okay.
So if a family has hurt you, it hits you a lot deeper. So therefore, when a friend comes around or a coworker or a boss later on, you still have that damage of either abandonment issues or whatever your family caused is whatever damage is caused. You're still moving with fear, probably from a younger age, and into your work life, into your relationship life, into your friends and sports and all that stuff. And it hinders you from developing real, authentic, deep connections and bonds with other people because you allowed what your family member did to you to affect the way that you treat other people, right? So with forgiving, we're not going to go too far into...
Most importantly, treat yourself.
And how you treat yourself, yes.
Or
especially
yourself.
Like if your mom... You were talking about your mom with like weight and never being good enough and all this stuff. yeah, of course you're going to turn inward and view yourself as the problem. I'm in the same boat with you there, but it was from the same person.
Yeah.
So,
but
if you let that person have control over you,
it created how I believed in myself, right? Like, so I did not believe in myself at all. When I was in high school, and I think she put me on Weight Watchers, and I was skinny. Like, but in my head, and when I was little, she used to call me Chunka. And so I thought my whole life I was fat, and I was not.
Sorry, that's not funny.
I look back at pictures and I was not fat. I was not even chunky. No. So it's weird, yes. Right? And then in high school,
that's projecting. And so then
I was like playing soccer. I worked out all the time. And I guess she felt, I've always had a butt. I've always had thighs, and I'm always going to. It's just my body, and I'm okay with it now, But it is interesting that because she brought me to this place for obese people, and put me on this diet with the Weight Watchers. I truly believed I needed it, that's how I saw myself. And it's crazy how that, but my sister, who was tall and skinny, right? She was 5'9", I think, tall and skinny as can be. She called her Kermit. So she had just as, like Kermit the Frog, because she had long, skinny legs. So she had just as many issues as I did, over in uncomfortability with her body, and struggled with
right,
eating disorders and things like that, because she didn't believe in herself. And it's crazy though how we can allow what someone else puts in our head about us to become the norm and the real, our real and what we think. So it's so important to change that perspective and go, I am not what this person said I am, and I am not no matter what I am, even when I'm overweight, I have to love myself wholly, right? It doesn't matter whether you're too skinny, too fat, too whatever. You have to learn to love yourself exactly how you are and be perfect in that.
When you go through trauma, you have to unlearn it.
Yeah.
So when your mom put this body image bullshit into your head when you were young, you believed it, right? She put shit into my head that I still believe, and I have to literally practice unlearning it, which is so hard, but that is what healing is. And you can't blame the other person, right? You just got to move on and be like, hey,
no, you can't, because that's stuff that it's her issues, right?
Right. So with knowing that helps to unlearn it is like, okay, well, I know now that I can't trust what they say. Okay. So if anybody says anything about you, you can't trust it, because you know who you are. They don't know who you are. They're coming from a place of projecting, right? And they only know the surface level outside things that you show them. Who cares what fucking people think? I'm getting there right now. Yeah. I'm practicing.
Good.
But it's the art of unlearning it and choosing something different, choosing a different mindset, choosing to believe something. For example, this is narcissistic abuse. This is derives from narcissistic abuse. Is your mom damaged me in the way that I never know when how do I put this? I never believe that I'm telling the truth. I never believe that I'm not manipulating someone. I never trust anything that I say out of my own fucking mouth.
Right.
Because that's what narcissists do. They train you to believe that you're crazy, you're always wrong.
Yeah.
Everything you say is a lie.
Everything you say is a lie. You get told that so much that you start to believe it, even though and the reality is the other way around, right?
Well, yes.
You're being gaslighted, and
we'll have a different episode on narcissists.
Yeah.
But
I didn't know that for a long time.
Just since we're talking about it, it's me now. I have to deal with unlearning everything, because anything and everything I say or do to someone, I don't trust that. I know I have good intentions, but I still have this weird, eerie feeling that I'm lying or that I'm manipulating someone when I know I'm not.
Right.
And it's a blessing and a curse because it has allowed me to be even more open-minded. So when I'm talking to someone, since I still have that fear of like, I don't know if I'm telling the truth or not, I'm able to sit there and listen and really hone in on the other. Well, this is also narcissistic abuse, is really honing in on their mannerisms, their responses, their words, and just being super hyper aware. And I also don't want to piss them off. I don't want to make anybody angry. That's people pleasing. But it helped me in the way that I can hear people out. I can put myself in their shoes and allow critical thinking and constructive criticism.
Right.
And so it's a curse in the way that I am damaged and don't trust myself.
Right.
And my abilities. But it's a blessing in the way that I am able to accept that I'm able to apologize. Right. I'm able to take accountability. I'm able to accept I'm imperfect, accept when I'm wrong, and admit that I'm wrong. And that's beautiful, and that's fucking rare.
Right.
A lot of people can't even say they're sorry. They can't accept that they're wrong.
Right.
Even super intelligent people are just such linear thinkers. They think that they're right. Nobody else can tell them any different. They're not able to think outside the box. They're not able to say they're sorry. And that is ego-driven, right?
Yeah.
And that is people who are usually jaded say, oh, I've been hurt, so I'm never going to trust again. I've been hurt, so I'm never going to feel again. That's so linear. Right. And you will just... linear is not tight relationships
with people. It gets you right into a wall, stuck.
Yeah, it gets you stuck. And with putting walls up and not letting anything in, you're also not letting anything out in the way that your personality. You're not really being yourself around people because you don't trust that they're not going to turn on you. But like Jordan Peterson said, that thing that you sent me, that was amazing. Like he said, you're already in the desert. You're already isolated. You have these walls up around you. Nobody can get in and you can't get out. And that's not a way to live. Nobody wants to live like that. You'll never have a really deep connecting relationship with anyone. That just strips you of your humanity and your capability of having strong relationships with people and connections with people. And you can never, if you can't be your full self for someone else, how can you ever expect them or ask them to be their full selves for you? You know?
Right.
Ego and soul, you need both to be human, right? But you need to be able to balance it. Like you need to be able to drop your ego and listen to someone else's perspective and respect their perspective by listening to them and letting what they say go into your head, swirl, bunk around a little bit, and then you make your own decision. Like if someone betrays you, hear them out. One, don't take it personal. Listen to your heart, but also listen to your head. Don't immediately speak off of emotion and attack off of emotion. Be able to take a step back and think and really tune in and be like, how did this make me feel? Okay, I know it's not personal. Hear that person out and then make your own decision. But the ability to like be open-minded is a practice that a lot of people are too afraid to do because it means dropping your ego. And it means risking the possibility of being wrong.
Also on that same side, like your ego is not just in how you like react by speaking out, but it's also in how you take things in too, right? And your experiences. Yes. Like, let's say, for instance, the experience that you were talking about of someone that hurt you recently, right? Had you not come from the place you came from with the prior experiences with that and already be in a hard place in regards to what she said, you probably would have just let it wash off your back like it was nothing, right?
Right.
But because of your prior, you're already in that.
It was triggering.
Mindset, it triggered something for you. And also, we know that chances wasn't with malicious intent, right? That person probably didn't mean to hurt you or even...
Which is the only reason I'm still in communication with her.
Aren't aware. Yeah. But that's why I think it's so important to know when to like take action, right?
Yeah.
And I am doing this so much more in life and so much better to be able to say, you know what you just said hurt me. Right? And it allows...
It takes a lot of courage to be able to do that.
Allows both of you to be able to expand, grow, suck it up right then, move past it, make amends, right? You give yourself that space to instead of like, how long has it been now that you've been holding on to this grudge?
I was just about to say, so this happened in 2021.
Wow.
And I have avoided her since, and I never told her why. So there's a guilt, there's guilt and shame
unfair.
that's there too that I have to deal with.
Yeah.
That I caused when I could have opened up to her in the moment or a day or two or a week later about it instead of just ghosting, because that's not fair to her, especially when I know that it wasn't to hurt me. It was like
and she
a fucked up way of showing tough love, I guess.
She doesn't know your previous experiences to know that you were triggered, right?
Yeah.
So that in essence, now you've hurt her by going away. Right. And her not knowing why.
Great example of putting walls up and moving with fear hurts other people.
Hurts other people.
You think it's protecting you, but really it's just hurting every party.
By being afraid of hurting someone's feelings, by saying something or getting them upset with us, that's where we change. Okay. I don't know. I can't say. I can believe. I think I know where you're coming from. I believe. You know what I mean. I can believe. I know you well enough to know where you're coming from, but I don't ever know that that's where you're coming from. That's what you really think. I can't project my thoughts onto yours, and our experiences are so different that the same situation we're going to experience and view and perceive totally different, and so. By me saying, okay, I'm not going to say this to this person because I don't want to hurt their feelings, or I don't want them to get mad at me, or I don't want a confrontation, is me changing my mind to say, I'm not going to be authentic then, right? By doing those things, you create a situation where you're not going to be authentic.
Well, I guess the moral of it is that it is so important to feel anything. Feeling is good. And like I said, life is like sound waves. You got to hit here in order to hit here, and just trusting the universe, whatever you put your faith into, trusting that it's all going to happen for a reason. And as long as you're standing on your own 2 feet, you will be okay.
Yeah.
And shit's going to go sideways. Shit's also going to go really good. That's life.
I think for me, one of the biggest things is understanding that that the universe, God, has a plan for me, I'm on a projected path, basically.
You have a purpose.
So I definitely have a purpose. I know that. And everything I've been through created me to be able to fulfill that purpose. And had I not gone through everything I did already, wouldn't even know what it was, never mind, that I'm supposed to fulfill it, right? And so I like to think of it as like, I have like sort of a jetpack on my back, and that I think a picture sort of that energy behind me, like just propelling me into
it's a drive
into that fulfillment. But it's a drive, but that's where I get that trust from, like trusting that I'm held, I'm safe, and I'm on the right path. And as long as I stay on that path towards my purpose, and I'm going to hit doors, just like I said, before I tried to get these jobs that I thought I wanted, and they didn't go through for whatever reason. And it was a door closed and a door closed. And so you just turn away from that door. And I realize now it wasn't a door closing because it wasn't a failure or something like that. It was because I was not supposed to be there. And when you can look at those things as like, okay, it's just directing you back to your path, right?
I worded it perfectly. A door will only open for you when you are the version of yourself that is ready to walk through it.
Yeah.
And with the trusting that whatever door is meant for you is going to be the one that's open. Yeah. Therefore, when doors slam in your face, you just go, okay, keep going. Okay, keep going until eventually that right door will open.
Supposed to be there, or that person wasn't right for me, or whatever it is. That door
so all you can
for
do
a reason.
And all you can do is control yourself and your decision making, and the door opening or closing on you is out of your control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm really learning like the whole it's in my affirmation today about trusting my choices, but also knowing when to take action and when to just let go, right? When to know that I am in control or not in control. It's a very fine line for me. So, and I have to back step and always check in with my intentions. And what is my intention for taking this next step? And what is my goal? And what do I expect? You can have expectations in life, especially when it's things from yourself. Like, what do I expect of myself? And can I fulfill this goal? They call it SMART goals, right? But it's understanding that this is something I can do in a timely manner, and it makes sense for me, and it's on my path, and it keeps me aligned with my purpose, and it keeps me connecting with the people I love, right? And it keeps me being authentic to myself. And as long as I'm living my life authentic to myself and my own desires, goals, beliefs, everything, then I'll be okay. I'll be more than okay, right? That's when I think you find absolute joy.
Yeah, as long as I'm doing my best, I'm good.
Yeah.
And being the best version of myself that I can possibly be.
I'm so fucking proud of you. Like, you got a job as soon as you moved to Tennessee, and you're just killing it, and you're living your purpose, and I could not be more proud of you for that.
Thanks,
and it's so cool that we get to walk through this stuff together and help each other.
I'm really grateful that we're where we're at. Yeah. And I'm grateful for everything that we had to go through in order to get here. And so today I hope that we allowed you to feel something. I hope we gave you a different perspective to maybe ponder on and think about. Just food for thought is really all it is.
Yeah.
Because again, we're not, as much as we need a somatic therapist on here, we are not therapists. She has some certifications. We both have experience, plenty of it. And I have a lot more to experience. So my boyfriend is a linear thinker. We'll just put it that way. He's a linear thinker.
Yes.
It's a way to put it nicely. And on our TikTok, I posted a video with me playing Fortnite underneath it, so he could listen and watch it. Because a lot of my generation
could watch it. You know how bad?
Yeah. No, I know. Trust me, it is bad. It is that bad. So if you see a random like Breaking Jaded clip and there's Fortnite underneath it, that's me playing Fortnite. And that's why I do it, is for those viewers that claim they have such a short attention span. I have a short attention span. I understand if nobody wants to listen to an hour of us just talking. And that's why I'm going to try to clip the best moments. But I think that if you just take what we say as fellow humans trying to just help make a difference in the world and doing our best at figuring out this life.
Learning from each other, yeah.
Yeah, we learn from other people. You get influenced by other people. And I went most of my life without a mom. And I just so desperately, and same with you, I so desperately just wanted a positive influence in my life and someone to guide me. And now that I have you back, I have this confidence and this new purpose in front of me that I just want to help other people. I want to help guide other people. Yeah. And like we talked about, you and I are natural healers. We like to help bring people to this state of change and help it, seeing different perspectives and yada yada. So today, if hopefully we helped you feel anything, because feeling is good. And that's especially for like men to figure that out, because men go most of their lives thinking that feeling is weak and talking about it is weakness. And that's society's fault.
I think that's shifting a little bit. I mean, I
think it is too.
I think it is shifting a little bit. Most of the men I know are open to understanding better and understanding themselves and their own emotions and being vulnerable, which is really, really cool. I think that that's a huge shift that's happening sort of in the universe right now, and I love it. Yeah.
Being authentic and connecting with each other is our only hope. To put it blatantly, if you believe that the world is on fire, then it's going to be on fire. And if all you can do is connect as deeply and authentically with the people around you, the people that you love, keep being open and vulnerable and allowing new experiences and things to shape you and being open-minded. It's so important, dude. It is so important. And well, with that, we can call that a pretty good episode, right?
Yeah. That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
I love you.
I love you, Mom.
Miss you.
I miss you too. I know. It's sad.
It's okay, though.
I feel very far away, but I also feel like you and I are, even though all we've wanted our whole lives is just to be together,
right.
I feel like where we're at in life, we are connected.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
But we're on our own paths of success right now.
Nothing's going to get in the way of our connection, that's for sure. It doesn't matter how far apart we are.
We are on our own journeys right now with success. Mm-hmm. And we have our own obstacles to overcome right now. And it doesn't mean that you're not going to visit me all the time and I'm not going to visit you all the time.
And we can this FaceTime journey together, which is really cool. Right?
Yeah, we're business partners. So we have to talk to each other.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm really proud of us both. We're both doing really, really, really well. And I just keep reminding myself that when my 10-year-old self would be so proud of me right now.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
You seeing yourself from your 10 years ago version of you would be so proud of you too. And I know both of our dads would be proud of us. And everyone we've lost is looking down on us like, fuck yeah, damn right, knew it would work out. So,
yeah.
I don't know. Life is good.
Life is very good. We're very blessed.
Okay, well, we hope that we helped you feel something today. And if I know you and I love you, if I know you, I love you. If I don't know you, I love you too.
I still love you. We love everybody.
Still love you.
We see the best in everybody. We choose to see the best in everybody. Mm-hmm. Right?
So we need to work on getting a somatic therapist as a guest. I know that you are on your way to being one, but we need like a...
No.
So I think that would be cool future guest. And if you guys have topics you want us to talk about, I know that the first few episodes, including this one, have been pretty deep and philosophical. We're going to try to branch off into more funny shit eventually and more entertaining stuff. But we're really not doing this for entertainment necessarily. We're doing this to just help people.
Right.
And try to do our part in making a positive impact on the world. So if it reaches 2 people or 20,000 people, we're happy. And we're going to keep going.
Yeah.
Do our best. So,
okay.
All right. We will see you next week.
See you next Friday.
See you next Friday.
I'll see you before then, but I will see them next Friday. Or they will see us, I should say. I love you so much.
Okay. Have a good week.
Okay.
Peace out.
Deuces.
We gotta figure out an outro.
Deuces.
We need to figure out an original outro.